guys. Good morning. Oh, look, I already said it. I can't. Good morning, everyone. How are you? It's Yo Ange. How are you doing today? It's Tuesday. We made it to Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. Guys, it's only Tuesday. Let's see if I can get this all set up here. How are you? Welcome in. It's Tuesday. You know what we have to do on Tuesday? We do strange conversations. And we are from the Yo Ange Coffee Joe apartment. Ambrose, how are you? Hello. Let me just do a little bit of housekeeping here. Blip, 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 blip. Okay, save that. I can't see anything I'm doing. It's so ridiculous. We got this all on. Subscribers, perfect. And we shall do this. We'll probably have ads. Okay. Well, at least it's showing up and YouTube's not acting a crazy person. How you doing, Adriana? Good to see you. Danny Dizzle, the Fizzler Spectacular supporter. Danny, I think you need to add one more word to your name. Good morning, J. Rowe. How are you? How are you, guys? I always say it. How are you guys? This is what it's going to be about today. For real. I'm going to have to catch myself so many times, but I'm not going to because I can't. So today we're going to have, I spent the morning just, I don't know, trying to get myself together. But then I ended up trying to find Joe's pumpkin spice such and such thing that he bought a while ago. I don't know where it is. I don't know if I put it in another container, but he bought this pumpkin spice, like square container of pumpkin spice, and it's somewhere. I think it might have been emptied into another thing so we could use it easier. I don't know. Maybe he hid it. He thinks I'm going to be able to find it in a cupboard. I'm kind of giving up. Hey, Jolie, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. Waking up, everybody. We're going to go get a coffee, as in the kitchen, and refill our water because we need to. Look what I have on my TV. You know how I do music in the background. Your power went out. What? You can't have that happen. That's not acceptable there, J Ro. Oh, you love us? Thank you so much, Laura 11. Love you too. Happy Tuesday, Squigs. Look, I got the chill time with Snoopy. Boy, that looks teeny, but it's not teeny. It's like a big thing. That's like a big TV, but it looks tiny as hell. Probably because my wall's so massive. I do not know. But we're listening to Chill Time with Snoopy. I listen to a lot of different playlists on YouTube. You snuck out of work to get a yerba. Definitely needed. What's a yerba? You're gonna have to explain that one, Squigs, because I don't know what that is. Definitely need a treat for how crazy this week has been already. I know. Kimberly Graves, happy Tuesday to you, guys. I'm getting like offer after offer after offer. I swear, I think the fall is like cruise offer time because I just got something from MSC. And I was wondering, I'm thinking, I think I can get a free inside cabin. And what came in today? Oh, it's an organic energy drink. It's made from a caffeinated tea. Ooh, I have never heard that. Is this like available in only certain coffee shops? Or is it in the grocery? Let me know. I need to know, Squigs. Good morning, Patrick NY. Hello, and good morning, Sophia. Welcome in. All right, let's go get some water because I'm gonna get parched because this is a lot. You know me. This is me all the time. Beep, 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 beep. Ever since I was little. I always put Snoopy on my TV too. You love Snoopy. I know. Oh, look, I just hit my mic. Now I have the mic on today, guys. Let me know if it's working well, because they've been working on that building over there. Right now, they're all at lunch, which is wonderful because now it's quiet. Now, suddenly, everybody's like, oh, you live in such a peaceful area. You should have heard it 15 minutes ago. It sounded like, I don't know, we were in a construction yard. That's what it sounded like. It was ridiculous. Ridiculous. You love the glasses? Thank you, Kimberly. Wait, no. Patrick said he loved my glasses, not Kimberly. Kimberly said, hi, hey, Ollie. Norma Davis, good to see you. You're like, good thing I didn't want to sleep. I know. For real. J-Ro, I had an obsession with Snoopy. Snoopy was always my obsession, I swear. To the fact that my father, who never baked anything, but for my birthday one time, baked me a Snoopy cake. Like, he made a Snoopy cake for me. It was so bizarre. You love the peanuts. All the characters are great. I love your glasses, too. Thank you. Hi there, Hassan. Hope you're having a good day. Din Din, welcome, welcome in. All right, let's go get the coffee. Since we took care of all the housekeeping, wait, we got to pop this up because my glasses are for reading, guys. They're not for walking and seeing like this way. So we got to not have the glasses on right here because I'll walk into a wall or something like that. Okay, we got to plunge the coffee. Plunging the coffee. Do you like that little gripper thing up there? Looks wonderful. We'll just put you on me. We got to plunge the coffee without spushing it everywhere. I came in with you talking about peanuts. Well, peanuts as in the peanuts, not I need peanuts. I've seen it a few times in specialty sauce. It's also sold in cans. Okay. I'm going to have to look at that. It's all over Southern California. Then it's here too. You took a mental health day? Oh, I love that for you, Kimberly. Thank you, Hassan. You like my hair. Oh, gosh. Sometimes plunging the coffee is like feats of strength. Legit. All right. I'm also getting water. How am I going to... You know what? I am tired of making the ice. But apparently, that's my job in life. My job in life. Make the ice. Okay, we're going to pour the coffee. Today, we shall be using the Jaws mug, courtesy of Adriana and Lila. Look at... I know. You're going to need a bigger boat. It's backwards. I can't fix it on this, okay? I mean, I'm sure I can, but I can't. Am I going to? No. I did already put my little spices in here. It's already in there. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to put a little sweetener in. Yes, this is like an allulose sweetener, guys. It's not actually Splenda. I just use the container because the container is very convenient. You know, so we're just going to use the container. It's probably going to give me... Will it give me the shits? I don't know. But I kind of want a little bit of a treat today. Because we could all use a little treat. Let's see how this tastes. Ooh. Not bad, not bad. I think I need a little more milk. Oh, God, I'm making a mess. I'm making a mess. You mean Jaws like the movie? Yeah, Jaws like the movie. Is there another type of Jaws? Lordy, 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 lordy. Good morning, Joseph Q. Hey, Haas. How are you? Put pumpkin spice and chocolate chips in your... Oh, I could do that too. Because I actually do have those. But we'll use those at a later time. I do have those kind of chocolate chips. Okay, I think this will be better. Okay, much better. Okay. Coffee in the arm. Wait, no. Water in the arm. Coffee in the hand. You guys in the other hand. Whew. Okay, we did it. We made it. We made the coffee. Plunged everything back to our cool little area where we could sit, chat, have a strange conversation. You guys are just watching my belly now. Put the coffee here. You guys all go in the little thing. And back. All right. Back to here. Look, I'm going to have an orange glow because Snoopy's got pumpkins on his TV. But I like to have a little TV, you know, kind of thing in the background. Let's raise you up. How about that? That's a little better. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of good. All right. My glass is dirty? Yeah. Everything's dirty. It is strange coffee. How am I feeling? I'm feeling at this moment, a little hot. Why? Because it's going to be a warm day today. I think it's the last day of the heat wave, that little faux heat wave we've been having. Hi, Manolo. I didn't see you there. And then we should be plummeting into actual fall, which would be nice. Which would be extremely nice. Okay. Are we good? Are we good? Hi, Steve D. How are you? I love how you did that. That's very smart because I can see it. How are you doing? I have a topic for you. Yo, is cereal a soup or a stew? 'Tis neither. I feel like cereal is cereal. I think it actually, cereal to me is like a dessert. I got cloudy here already in the New Jersey Pines. Really? Cloudy? I don't know if it's cloudy out. No, we got blue skies and sun. Blue sky, I just leaned back and looked. We got blue skies and sun. I actually have to lean back and look up because I got a building next to me. You're in cleaning the cupboards mode? Oh, I started doing a little bit of that. Like I had a din. I had like the economy size of organic coconut oil. And then I have a little jar that I had. And then I kind of transferred some of the economy into the little one. And I was finally down to the point of, well, it's melted. But I was enough to actually just fill up that little jar and get rid of the big one. I was like feeling like so accomplished that we used the oil. You love strange cop. Oh my goodness, Diana Lee, look at you with a 10-pound super chat. Thank you so much, Diana Lee. My son's sleeping in the other room. He couldn't sleep well last night. Little tummy problems. But thank you so much, Diana Lee, for that 10-pound super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It means a lot to me with your guys' support. New York seems to get Michigan weather the day after, which is shitty here today. I will take some shitty weather as long as it's cooler, okay? J-Ro, I'm all about getting your weather, okay? Good morning on Princess Time. Thank you, says Treat99. It's very kind of Kimberly. Of Diana, I'm sorry. I'm reading names as they go by. Okay, so did you guys see love positivity to everyone heart? Thank you. I do. I try to bring positivity, and sometimes I like to talk about things that kind of make me go hum, and that's kind of what Tuesdays usually turn into, is our strange conversation day. And I listen to lots of different YouTubers and I watch lots of different subjects, as you guys all know, because I just go down lots of little rabbit holes. I don't know, is that going to be offensive to somebody? Yep, I'll take a shitty weather as well, right, Yvonne? Hi, Mark. Good morning. The rains are coming. Please let the rains come. I am drinking a pumpkin spice coffee, okay, that I made here. I'm telling you, it tastes really good. And, oh, God, you know what? I got to remember it's Taco Tuesday. I always forget it's Taco Tuesday, Kimberly. Always. But anyway, I love to do our conversations because sometimes it just makes us all think a little bit. You know what I mean? Like we get to go, I don't know. I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, are you having tacos, Din Din? Like we kind of want to know. Let's put this up, put this up. Let me get to my notes. I need a pop-out chat. Okay. Holy hell, that's a monster pop-out chat. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Oh, that's probably offensive to somebody. Like, for real, guys. This is what the conversation is about today. Are y'all ready? Are you guys ready? Now, if you saw my title, it says, Am I Offensive? Okay. And the reason why it's there. Here we go. You ready? Are you ready? Strap in, baby. Buckle up, Buttercup. Why is everybody so sensitive? That's my question. Why is everything turned into being offensive? I feel there's going to be some spice. I know. Carlos is chasing leaves. Oh, I love that visual. Thank you for that. I love little Carlos. He's such a damn cutie. You got on your big girl panties? Yeah. My question is, why is everybody so offended? Why does everybody find everything that comes out of our mouth offensive? Why do I have to feel, do you guys feel this? Because I, as a content creator, as a YouTuber, it comes down to the whole thing of like, I will say something and then I almost feel like I have to give a disclaimer, a retraction, or an explanation. I don't understand, and it makes me a little bit like I want to be able to speak, and I have the language that was given to me that I've learned. And of course, sometimes language has slang. We grow up in the United States, every country has slang terms. French have slang terms, Italians, of course. I mean, they could tell you a whole story with just using their hands, and sometimes those are offensive. Right, we become super sensitive. And I started thinking about, like, why are we so damn sensitive suddenly? It's not the climate. I mean, it is the climate, but it's even more than that. You know, um, because people look at baby boomers, they look at Gen X, especially us, and we're like, sticks and stones kind of thing. Words are words. But we get drawn into the bullshit of whatever people are saying, walking on eggshells, right? Like there are terms that we use. I love being a Gen X, we ain't sensitive. No, we're not. And I feel like I almost touched upon like a reason why. Like I kind of just went, oh my God, that's so true. I feel like it's a shift in values. Remember my first job where most of the vulgar chats would occur. And now that we have Gen Z employees being hired, I find myself policing my language. That's exactly it. Thank you. Squigs. Squigs. Right. And it's not even PC. You're right, Joseph Q. It feels like we say PC because that's the term we were given. Like that term didn't exist. It was like given to us. Like, the media, the news, we're going to go like this. News, because there's no news anymore. It's all just feature stories packaged in a way that it's supposed to be, here's your reality. And it's really not. With technology, the way it is available to everyone, there are a few out there because they want it for themselves, because they couldn't get anything for themselves early. I know, for real. RP, FPC. I kind of agree, okay? Like, I started thinking about all the terms, and one of the terms is something that I use every single time. I can pretty much assure you all, every single time on a live stream or in a video. Do you know what that term is? And people find it offensive. We get drawn into the ego. The ego is what divides people into groups. I don't know what we get drawn into, man. We get drawn down the freaking suction hole. Too many told not a no, told no enough. Right. One of the terms that I say that some people find offensive is you guys. Do you know how many times I say that? You guys. Hey guys. Oh my God, I could have gone to HR 100 times over because the court. I know, right? I should be a billionaire with all of the HR lawsuits that I should have. For real. Like the stuff that I've dealt with throughout my career in many different fields, it did kind of start with that, but it's even deeper than that, RFD. I really feel it's deeper than that. Like, so if I say you guys, and why is that offensive? It's because it's not gender neutral. It's because and it's not even gender neutral. Women, certain women are like, I'm offended because you said guys and you're not including women. And the people that are gender neutral are saying that. And then now you're saying you're all this and you're generalizing. And I'm like, dude, even me saying dude in reference to you guys is now because you find that word offensive. And it's not offensive. It's you don't like how I speak. Well, how is that any different from people's, it's like that's my culture. That's how I grew up. And I'm not saying you get to say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. You just have to be ready for all the repercussions that come from it. But when you start nitpicking every single part of the English language or any language, it goes bananas. I totally been told off for using you guys. Right, Squigs? A snowman can be offensive. Oh my God. Right, Adriana? Like, I was in a chat. I was in Dutch Maz's chat. And so we get people, I get people, he gets people. A lot of us live streamers here in New York and all over the world get people that come into our live stream from different countries. Now, one person made a comment because they're from the UK and said, wow, your street lamps, like our walking signs, traffic signals, are so very different from theirs because they have a little walking green guy, a walking figure, and it's green, okay? And ours is not. Ours is a white person, a white figure, a white, I don't, what do you say? I mean, you say that, and I wanted to type that because I wanted to say, you're very right. Ours is white, a white person a white figure walking, and then it's a red hand, okay? And we were just talking, but I actually, you know what I did? I backtracked, did, and just didn't even comment. It actually prevented me, yeah, the walk signal. It prevented me from speaking because there was no way that I could relay that without it sounding like I was offending somebody. And that's why you said that last night. It is why I said that last night. I say grow a pair. Good morning. Good morning, Chris. I answer your opening question with a resounding no, you are not offensive. Thank you, Chris. I can be offensive. I know this. I know not everybody, and I don't expect everybody, I don't even expect an 10th of everybody to like me. I get it. Just me, myself, can be offensive to people that don't like me, and I understand that. And you don't have to like me, and that's fine. Just don't watch then. The term you guys, it's because you're used to seeing that because both you and Joe and Josh around you, that's all it is. Well, no, I've always said you guys. And I use guys as in a term of a group. Patrick, you're always offended. I'm a little offended. I worked in customer employee relations. Uggs was a nightmare at nitpicking. I know. I can't even. I can't even read that. I'm waiting for someone to complain. I no, everyone says that, you guys. All right. Hey, already from Glasgow, Scotland. I always think you guys meaning more than one person, right? Sam Rooster, welcome in, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button. I think people need to remember that being offended isn't illegal. If your feelings are hurt by how I talk, I don't care. When it comes to rap music, we don't like rap music because it's not real music that offends a lot. It's all over the place. In my opinion, walk signals should be green and red, not white and red. It's bizarre, right? It's bizarre. Like, we have a white one. I don't know if it's because we'll see it more. I don't know. But I can't change the color. Regardless of what that signal should be or not be. Oh, they're starting again. I can hear them out there jackhammering. What's next? Is Yo offensive? Probably, I swear to God. But I can't change the color of the walk signal. I can't. So for me to describe it, what am I supposed to say? We have a light colored walk signal. I mean, that sounds stupid. You can't even say stupid sometimes. Okay, other things that are offensive. So that was one of them. This is where it got me going because I was just like, oh my Lord. I was doing a presentation last week and I had to adjust my verbiage as to how I address my audience. It's exhausting. And if you're colorblind, what does that matter? The bright lights of the walk. You know what I mean? You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up for real, guys. And I'm going to keep saying guys. I'm going to keep saying it because that's how I address everybody. For me to change it, hello everyone, does not have the same impact. It's all about delivery, impact. Like our comedy has even changed. Like, could you imagine trying to do comedy without offending somebody? I don't even know if that's possible. Like, that's not even possible. Dutch will never respond to me because he finds me offensive because I talk about things going on in my world. Mark, I know. And some people are like that. That's their channel and that's their world. It's just like when I say things like that too. I say, this is my house. Don't come in and rearrange my furniture. Some people like to carry on their content in a certain manner. And It's up to them, and it's up to us to choose who we want to and who we want to not watch. You know, Jamie Vogel, exactly how I feel. What did Jamie say? Maybe I read it and I don't even know. Jamie, you don't change for no one. I don't change for no one. I can't. You guys, I can't. I can't change. I was told to stop using such large words. People didn't understand that. Jolie, give them, you know what? Give them a damn dictionary. Give them a dictionary, and how about a thesaurus? You know, I'm offended by the price of a dozen eggs. I have to go very far and away to get cheap eggs. That's what it is. Okay. Another thing we can say, don't be crazy. That's crazy. I can't say that. What am I supposed to say? That's mentally unstable? What does that mean? I can say that. Why can't I say that's crazy? Like, come on, people. These are simple ways for us to relay either a situation, what's happening, a vibe, a feeling. Me saying the word everyone does not actually get to say, hey, guys. Guys is a much more friendlier term. Like, we're in a close group. Like, we're close. Not like, if I say, hey, everyone, I'm like, hello, everyone. Everyone. Difference. Totally difference. No, people that get offended are mentally disabled. I know. I ran into a colorblind hunter once. Must be challenging. For fuck's sake. That's crazy. Rum and tequila today. I mean, I'm drinking coffee, right? Parades in New York City. The other washed out by one, the rain canceled and put on the next day, and two afterwards, not on the same day it rains. We are offended by that. I can't. I have been to these parades when they are going on in the rain. Look at this past year. Last Thanksgiving, rained out. Lunar New Year, rained. I was absolutely soaked to the bone. Soaked. I was like drowned rat. Is that offensive? I don't know. You can't even say, so you can't say I'm crazy. That's crazy. I feel crazy. You can't say that. Like, you literally cannot say that. Nightbot's very offensive. OCD. Can't even use that now. I'm so OCD. That's very OCD. Because we can't use real life situations anymore, is what it is. Hey, everyone, makes you sound like a classroom teacher. Exactly. Am I a classroom teacher? I mean, I know you wish. You wish I was the classroom teacher because we would have some goddamn fun. But I'm not a teacher. People have always said, oh, Angie, you'd be great classroom teacher. No, I would not. I would not be. No, I would have to deal with so many parents and Karens. I would just be in the principal's office all the time. I would be in the administrative office. They would get very upset. Someone got offended when they called his kid autistic. Well, if your child is autistic, isn't he autistic? I don't understand that. Homeless. We even use the word homeless. Like when, okay. So, example, personal example. When I was trying to, when we moved here to New York, oh, I have a commercial here for Snoopy. That's why. Look at how white I am now because the orange is off the TV. I love it. I got the lights off because it's going to be a warm day and we got to keep the heat down. And lights give heat. You always greeted your class with, hey, guys. I know, treat 99, you are so offensive. But when we lived in Minnesota and we're moving to New York, everything was moved, okay? Everything was moved from our apartment to New York. I mean, from our house, because we owned a house there. And now we live in a rented apartment like every other person here in New York. But I had to stay behind for the entire summer. So they moved, my husband and Josh moved into the apartment in May, and I had to be in our apartment till like the end of August. May, June, July, August. 4 months. 4 months. A third of the year, I was living in a house that had no furniture, basically a mattress and a box spring on the floor because we had to move the furniture and we weren't going to take that piece. And like I had an office chair, one pot, just like a plate, a spoon, a bowl, things like that. Nothing. And so I would say I was living like a squatter or like a homeless person or like something. But that was to relay like the situation. Like it was like me in this giant space. I was a squatter in my own house is what I felt like because I looked like I walked into an empty house and just decided to stay. You know, that's what it was. So thank God they only started that after I retired. Oh my gosh. Unhoused, on the spectrum, Koko, correct. Yeah, it's all these things like that. So I can't say homeless. I can't even say that's lame because people that are lame would be offended. The blind, like a phrase, the blind leading the blind. You can't even say that really because that could be offensive because you're offending the blind people that they can't lead. Come on, man. You and to the point of, when we like to use phrases because we feel it fits, such as, damn, he was savage. Now that word is bad. You can't say, oh, that person's my spirit animal, because now I'm appropriating a culture. And I know this isn't normal stuff, but I find it kind of humorous. Like, our channel, we try to keep it we're very, very, like, want to have it positive. We want to bring some light and laughter into it, which involves humor. So it's not like we're trying to be humorous. I think we are slightly, maybe an inch, a smidgen humorous, but being humorous and then being sensitive to every word of the English language is like an impossibility. Those things don't mesh. They don't. So if I say that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, have you guys? I can't even make fun of Polish people. Come on. I'm Polish. The Polish jokes. The Polish jokes. And you guys know how ditzy I am. I mean, I booked a cruise 512 days in advance. But yeah, your high school years were crazy, right? TV shows grew up with Alice. You're going to do. I know. Archie Bunker. We grew up with comedians that were raw, like Eddie Murphy and raw. That's who we grew up on. Those were our comedians. And then even the comedians before that were way more raw than those comedians. Your husband Joe would be the greatest New York City mayor. Are you offended by that? I think I'd be offended if he would just like, would I be offended? No. Would he annoy the shit out of me? Absolutely. And listen, whoever's the mayor or the president, I don't care. It is what it is. I have to deal with it. What we have to realize, it's not what the other person is doing, it's how we're responding to it. And I think that's what's getting lost in translation. I don't know, is that offensive too, translation? I mean, that's the problem. Everybody's like, you said that, I feel offended. Well, how are you going to handle it? That's the point. That's where the disconnect, I think, happens. It's not that I offended you, it's how you're going to handle it. How are you dealing with it? If you're offended, don't watch. You get to choose. You, wow, have the choice to listen, not listen, watch, not watch. Hey there, RJ, how are you? Can we say cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? I say that all the times. I say that all the time. I say nutty, nutty Cocoa Puffs. I actually say nutty, nutty Cocoa Puffs. I don't know why I do, but I do. I say nutty, nutty Cocoa Puffs. I'm so glad I grew up in a time when I was okay to be you. Now, here's the thing. Okay. Like I was saying, so Gen X, we grew up with the raw comedians. Gen Z, they're triggered and they're very about their mental health. And we're talking about, there is like the millennials are in between, okay? My son's a millennial. So he kind of falls in between a little bit. But the Gen Z is totally on a different, I don't know what planet they came from, okay? Like it's very, like, hard to relate because I almost feel like sometimes, and like one of my nieces is Gen Z. The other one, she's a millennial, like kind of Josh. And I can see the difference between the two of them. And it's so wild because they're sisters. But the difference blows my mind because I feel like one is much more substantial. Like there's a lot of substance there. I think it's because she grew up in a time where we did have social media, but it wasn't always available. And they did have some of that struggle, but they also grew up with parents like us that were, I don't know, we were much more maybe like live and let live kind of thing. And then when the next gen, like the next group came along, that was a little difference in school treating us too. Just found a new channel this Sunday is Odd Couple Marathon. Odd Couple Marathon? What? Season 1 of MASH will never be seen again in reruns. Really? Because it was that offensive? For real? RFD? See, like we're going to be losing stuff. And you know what? Let me tell you something. You're such an open person. Totally pleasant. Thank you, Helga. Here's the thing. Now, I have watched old movies, some comedies, back from when I was young. And some of those jokes do not land the same as they did back then. I mean, I actually hear the joke and I'm going, hey, Ronnie, see, how are you? I hear the joke and I'm like, ooh, ooh. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of like, ooh, damn. I don't know what you say. Like, I'm uncomfortable. And it's not because, it's because we now know a little bit more and we have more of an understanding. People at large, that back in those times didn't really have a voice. Women didn't really have as much of a voice. Yes, we had the right to vote and all this other stuff, but we really didn't have a right to vote. We didn't really have a voice, is what I mean. Like in the workplace, women were still looked down upon, women weren't placed in positions of power, things like that. Same thing with the LGBTQIA alphabet community, LGBT. You didn't have a voice. You were always that part of the joke. And that to me is like low hanging fruit. When people are making fun of people's ethnicities, gender, things like that, to me, that's low hanging fruit. In fact, I don't even find that low hanging fruit. I find that the fruit that's been rotting on the ground that you picked up and thought, okay, we're going to play with this. So to me, that's never been okay. But now that people have a voice and have a choice more, I feel like those do not land the same. They will never land the same because we realized back then that they weren't right, but we just kind of went along with it because of society. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about using phrases like, hey guys, using things that have been a part of the English language for a while. And I'm not talking about something that's truly offensive. You know, feminists screwed us. They wanted to work. Now we have to work. I know. I don't. But listen, I'm not going to follow a man's thing. I'll work. I would rather work than be like, well, you have to stay home and cook my dinner. Fuck you, I ain't cooking dinner. I don't want to. Pumpkin spice is good. So, I was watching the stuff. You know, cancel culture, majorly prominent. You know, I can't imagine, like I said, to be a comedian in this day and age. But like one of these things is I was watching this thing and they had all these different snippets and different like comedians were commenting on this. I always watch Catchy. It's a free Catchy. I've never heard of that. What is Catchy? But it was by Howie Mandel. And he said, there's no line in comedy. He says, comedy is an art. It is, I do believe it. It's like acting is an art. You know, theater is an art. Comedy is an art. It's all about delivery, how you say something. Can you evoke a feeling and stuff? And it's like, you don't have to like it. You can be offended by it, but it's not like personally directed at you. And I think that's part of the problem. Everybody thinks everything is directed specifically at them. You know? Someone apologized if they find others thinking that what they've said is offensive, but he says you have to. I don't have to apologize. If I'm saying something just to say something, right? Just don't go to study room. Listen, I don't even know what that means. Hey now, I don't understand that. What are you talking about Saudi Arabia for? I'm not going to Saudi Arabia because they don't respect women. A lot of places do not. Yes, he is funny. I should get Fafa working now. Oh, you guys are talking about Kimberly. Okay. So he said that. And I kind of agree. We don't, you know, if a type of comedy isn't for you, then don't watch that type of comedy. Like, you don't have to cancel it. Do you know what I mean? Canceling is like, this is the other phrase that we all have, canceling. Like, they go out of their way to destroy another person, to cancel them, to make sure that they will never speak again because that person has now deemed themselves the savior of the world. They're going to save everybody else from being offended because you personally were offended. You know what I mean? I Love Lucy. I think that she was very edgy. A woman in that time, wow, for real. A woman in that time, very, very edgy. I can never get offended because I grew up in a generation where we watched the Brady Bunch and Peanuts cartoon strips, and to this day we still love seeing them. Both on right. We there was a lot of freedom in those. Jamie, all day this past Sunday was the honeymooners. Oh my gosh, really? The honeymooners, jeez. Him and Archie Bunker, I mean, both of them were very cutting edge and stuff. But, and then I heard another comedian say this, and I actually really like him. And for the life of me, I can't remember his name. What is his name? English dude. He does a lot of funny shit. But anyway, he said, and I was like, whoa, dude, guy, that was so perfect. Get ready for this one. You ready? Like when he said this, poof, it was like a light bulb. And people need to, one, whatever you're doing and you get offended, you need to pause, because here's the other thing. I'll tell you what this guy said, but I'm going to tell you this first. People need to hit the pause. Can we please all hit the pause before they jump down someone's throat and all of a sudden they're like hanging on every word because they saw a snippet or they took a screenshot or they said, oh my God, they said this. And then they're going to blast it across their social media. And then they're going to type it all in caps because we all know that all in caps means you're shouting. Okay, I get it. You're emotional, but they're going to blast it all over the place. Take a pause. Let's see. What's the context? What's the story behind it? When was it said? Why was it said? Do we even really care what was said? That's the point. That's what the cancel culture does. They take a little snippet that's like this. The story could be like this. This is the book. They take a page. It's not even a page. They take a paragraph. No, it's not even a paragraph. They take 2 sentences. And then they blast it all over the place. They could even take a sentence that they've taken and reconstructed. But they'll blast it all over the place and be like, that's what you said. And I sit here and go, and? For real. I do. I don't get it when they do that. And they feel like they have to be the savior. I'm going to say that this person said that. Okay, one, how does it affect you? And how does it affect others? And why do you feel the need? What is your end goal? That's one thing I've had to learn. Yes, she was, according to him, he would go over there and check on her every day. Okay, you guys are talking about something else. I'm trying to follow what's going on. Being from Jersey, we all busted each other's chops. And I do it all day long. No big deal. Right? Hey, now, that's part of life. Like it's kind of like an initiation, right? If I didn't have people who busted my chops, tried to make my life harder, because they do, then I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't be Ange, the loud person. I wouldn't be the person that's like, well, you're going to do this, this, and this to me. You're going to say this. I'm going to lean in. That's the point. They don't, and that's where I go, you don't know me. When you do that and you think that I'm going to run away, you don't know me. Because more than likely, I'm going to lean into it. And then I'm going to go further. What was this message? I know it does. Like a lot of times it does offend people. And I don't know why. It doesn't offend me. Grace, he's hilarious. The cameraman and Tom are such a great team. Hi, Fabio. And we made fun of each other where nobody had a problem with it. Right. And sometimes it bordered on bullying. Was it okay? No. Did it happen? Yes. Is it going to happen? Absolutely. They are all Jersey loud, right? I'm not Jersey. I'm from Michigan. I'm from Detroit. I'm Detroit loud, I guess. But, I've been living here in New York for now almost 12 years. It's scary that I've been here this long. But women now have a choice and the free will. Before they didn't have as much. I know, we did not. So, anyway, God, I can't remember his name because it's just escaping me and it's pissing me off. But, here's the thing. How arrogant are you to think that you have the right to go through life without anyone ever offending you. What? Yo, think about that. How arrogant of you to think that you can go through life that no one should be able to offend, that can offend you. Like, think about it. Think about it. You didn't have to time him out. It's fine. Detroit, love it. He is hilarious and very smart. When I went to, lived in Dearborn, married a Detroit girl, loud and fun. We had some, I know. Oh, that's no problem. Fat fingers, right? Right, Joseph? I got them all the time. When I went to college in Boston, they made fun of my New York accent. I gave it right back to them hard. I freaking love it. Oh my God. I love it. Exactly. You lean in. But that's a very interesting statement. And if you said that to someone, like, wow, how arrogant of you to think that you should never get offended in your entire life. That's what, whoa, wow. Let that simmer and sink in a little bit. And if you're the person doing it, wow, talk about a little narcissistic, man. It's all about you, right? Right? Just think on that. And here's the thing. I do think social media is a big thing that plays in here. People can say, oh, it's the time, it's the era, it's this, it's the nature, it's what's happening in the world. Yeah, all of that plays. But you know what? I'm going to say this. All of this shit has always been happening in the world in either some format, some way, some war, something. Somebody's offended. There's somebody that's on the lower part of you can't even say totem pole because now I'm appropriating that word. But that gives you an idea, okay? There's always some of this bullshit happening in the world. But why is it so different right now? And it is social media. It is social media. And it is that it's a generational thing, specifically because of social media. And it gets a little bit more as more generations are born. And here's the thing, because, like I said, it's like it's not political. Social media gave us the ability to share. Okay? It gave us the ability to share what we feel. We've always felt these things. You probably have always been offended. I love listening to Melanie explain why they all only stare at us because we are so dumb and we don't know how to communicate. I know. I don't know. Josh did do that a little bit. And I've had to teach Joe how to communicate because Joe's a kind of he goes silent when he gets pissed. And then I'm like shaking him, like, say something. You know what I mean? Sports teams change their names and logos because I know that's what I'm talking about. I got hate because I put up a video of a guy driving a pickup truck with a blonde wig in the back. And I read the sign and it was funny. It read wife missing, won't stop till I find her. That is kind of funny. That's kind of funny. With social media or chats, you can't hear the inflections. And it's true, you can't hear the inflections. But social media gave us the opportunity and the ability to share. And not just share, but share everything. They share every single thing. And some people can't shut up. And some people don't understand when you should share and when you should not share. When it's appropriate. Because guess what? We all lived with this. I bet you the people that hate me now, dislike my channel, hate my channel, can't stand my voice, are still the same people. They were the same people before. Before social media. Same type of people, couldn't stand me. People that didn't like that joke before, didn't like the joke now. But guess what? We didn't know it. That's the difference. That's such a Leo trait. We get very silent. My brother is a Leo too. Same thing with him. I know you just want to shake him, right? Hey there, Lisa UK. But it's true. Social media gave us the opportunity and the ability to actually share our feelings. And some people, they got to share every damn feeling. We didn't know. We didn't care to know that person didn't like me. They could hate me, but they didn't. There was no way for them to say, I hate you. unless they walked up to my face and said, I hate you. They could talk behind my back all damn day long. I have learned that a conversation about me, if I'm not involved in that conversation, is none of my business. Okay, I have learned, that was a learned thing that I had to do, especially being out here on social media. But now they get to go, they get the keyboard, beep, they get the keyboard out, and they go, I hate this blah, 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 and they spew. And then they go, and then they get upset because they don't like the president. And the guys, I didn't vote for that president, but he's still my president. He's president of the United States. I didn't like him, but he's there. So I got to deal with him for the next 4 freaking years. Okay. It's what it is. I'm going to keep doing my life. My life is here. Did I do this? Do I like congestion pricing? No. Do I feel the need that I have to go on there and complain about congestion pricing? Oh, sometimes if somebody starts a conversation, maybe I'll chime in, but am I going to be a psychotic person about it? No, I'm offending somebody there by using the psychotic word. No, keyboard bulliers, keyboard warriors. That's exactly where that comes from. But everybody feels like, oh, I got to make sure I tell you you're ugly. Oh, I want to make sure, hey, why are you fat? What? Make it make sense. So everybody now has this opportunity to share, and now that's all people are doing, and they don't even realize what they're creating. Like they created the monster. That's why everybody's so sensitive, because everybody's sharing. Everybody's sharing their thoughts at every moment without any kind of filter or thought behind it. There is no pause button. They're just out. It's like they throw it out there. So now we can't use words like, oh my God, that's crazy. We can't say, hey, you guys, because somebody somewhere offended. I'm going to use those words. I'm going to use my English language. Am I aware of certain phrases? Once I learn, like, say, a phrase, where it generated from, and then I think on it, and I'm like, that is not a good phrase. You'll see that I will try and explain to Joe why a certain thing is. Remember when we had diaries? I never had a diary. I tried to make a diary, J-Ro, and it just absolutely failed. I could never do diaries because I'm like, why am I writing this down? So you know what I do? I actually do a video diary now every damn day. Good is bad, bad is good. I know. You be you, I'll be me. Exactly. It's simple. If you find it offensive, guess what? Don't have to watch. What else did I write down here? Context, blah, blah. I actually wrote notes for myself. Are you guys laughing? Yeah. You guys have to figure out how you're going to respond to something, how I respond to something. Somebody might say something, say it's about me. God, it's always about me. It is always, I swear to you guys, I swear to you, the comments that are full of hate or negativity or anything and I try to leave them, unless it's like something really awful, I will leave them because I like to let people show themselves. But, like 99.9% of the time, the negative comments on my channel are about me. And I own it. It's my channel. They either tell me, right, you constantly feel like you're apologizing. I'm stopping that. I'm not going to be apologizing. I didn't have a diary. I just think it's funny that, I don't understand. The people that had diaries were people who were not my friends. People who had diaries were not my friends. I was like, I'm like New York. What happens in New York never happened. Okay. I know. Sorry, not sorry. Yes. Thank you. Like that is our phrase. Sorry, not sorry. I can't. But anyway, like I said, the negative comments are 99.9% about me. I'm either mean to Joe, or I'm offensive, or I said this, or I did that, or blah, blah, blah. I'm loud, whatever they want to say. I was at the smoking doors at school, right? I don't care. You guys can share your feelings and stuff. But all I say is when someone says something, I'm not saying me, But I mean, like in your other lives, because we all get offended. But we have to think about, how am I going to respond to that? Are they offending me personally to my face? Are they like yelling at my face and they're being a bish? Well, that's different. We will have a corrective action, okay? There will be corrective action. You can say whatever you want, but be prepared. There will be, there will be consequences, okay? If you're saying it to me right now, here in my face, if you're doing something to me right now in my face, that's different. You know, just like if somebody came in here and started spewing shit, you would have a consequence of my mods, or I would be taking you out with the lightsaber. You would be gone. That's a consequence, If you get blocked on the channel, that's a consequence. You can't say, "Oh my God, that's another thing. People get all upset if they get blocked on a channel. If they get blocked on a channel, they're like, "Oh my God, they blocked me." Oh, blah, 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 blah. Listen, they could do whatever they want. That's their channel. Like Mark, you said that. Like, I think it was Mark, that they don't like you on this certain channel. It's a consequence. I've said things, I'm blocked on channels, Mark. Trust me, I'm blocked. Blocked. You know what? Sometimes I go, badge of honor. I swear to you, I kind of chuckle. Can I watch? Sure. Can I comment? No. But then you know what? It's not worth watching because I probably don't even like their stuff. Am I going to watch to lurk and go, "Oh my God, what do they say?" No. Because me focusing on the positive of my life, on what's happening in my life, on the negative of my life, trying to figure out a problem in my life is going to do more for me than looking at everybody else and if they're saying something about me. If they're talking about something, are they offended by me? Worrying about what anybody else thinks doesn't necessarily improve my life. It just makes me something else to consider and worry about. Sometimes you just get blocked. Yeah, such is life. That's what it is. Treat 99. I keep telling people she's terrifying. I will be the next thing that everybody will be cautious, very cautious about, because they know that anything can be created. Oh, AI? That's the part that's scary with AI. That is honestly the part that's scary about AI, I feel. I feel like there's a lot, it is just complete, like, garbage, I feel. It can be used for good. Just like YouTube can be used for good, social media can be used for good. I follow a lot of people on Facebook and YouTube, but I tend to follow people that are very, very positive and like to share things, okay? And they lift others up. I like to lift. I don't like to push down. I don't need to get farther in the world by stepping on other people or talking shit about other people. Will I make a snarky comment? 1000% yes. Why? Because that's who I am. I will make snark. I like snark. Snark to me is funny. It's kind of like my comedy. Okay? It is. Will people be offended because I'm snarky? 1000% yes. Do I care? 1000% no. I have to think about it. AI is going to be a big problem. It is, because now they can take a face, put it on something else, put some words in that person's mouth, and create it. There are a lot of companies out there that are going to content creators saying that they will pay them for their unused videos. I have been approached by many, many of these to say, "We will pay you to use your content to teach our AI." No, no, you're not going to use my content to teach and use for AI. No, 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 no. Please not do that. I know, Steve D. Can you believe that we met that long ago? I feel like it was only yesterday. But I mean, I feel like I've known you for a long time. But I feel like us meeting wasn't that long ago. It's so wild. We really got to correct that action. We need to meet. We need to meet up again, Steve. I'm serious. I really need to figure out how the hell I can make that airplane ride more tolerable. Yeah, Din Din does not get offended. Only watch people that bring positivity, especially on YouTube. I'm at the point in my life where I don't care for negativity. It's way too much of that. Right. Because you married a woman because of her snark. The snark is very attractive, I'm just going to say. But, yeah, that was the conversation today. Look at, not even an hour? What? Unbelievable. Let's drink this coffee. Okay, you can see the cinnamon spice around my rim. Does that look gross you out? I don't care. They're going to steal your content anyway, not conspiracy. They just, well, I know they're just going to take it anyway. AI is very scary to me. Yes, there's ways you can use it to be like, I'm going to add an apple in my hand so I don't have to go get an apple. But why are we having to do that? I can add a green screen. That stuff's great. But the problem is, AI will not be able to recreate the creativity of a human being because it's the spur of the moment. It's the mind that actually, they can simulate something, but it doesn't compare to the actual conversation, the strange the interaction. That's the difference. There could be an AI of me that could respond to you, just like now I was talking about before that they have the little friend necklace that can talk to you and be your friend. You know, that's the thing. They could have that and you could have whole conversations. But it's not going to be like this, like right here. It's not going to be a strange conversation like we're having here. It just won't. It won't be the same. In place of social media, there will be a lot more Atlantic City trips. Ooh. As long as we're one. I haven't had a pumpkin ale yet with cinnamon and sugar on the end. I have never had that. Society as a whole is getting lazy. Yeah, I will be a perfect fit for those people because it does everything for them without having to make an effort. I won't because I'm the one who wants to make an effort. That's the problem. Just like last night, I wanted to go see the supermoon. And was it the biggest supermoon? No, but I wanted to go see it, so I took you along. And I dragged Joe with me. And Joe bitched the entire time. Joe bitched the entire time. Did he enjoy it? Yes. Was it worth it? Yes. We saw it over a spooky cathedral. Come on. Could I have gotten a picture? Yeah. Could I have seen AI make that? Yes. Would it have been the same? No. It was the adventure. It was the fun of seeking it out. And you didn't see the quote I posted from what appears to be a message from Parliament. I can post it again if you look this time. I'll try. You know, things go by fast. You got a perfect shot of the supermoon. Ange loved it. Thank you. Yeah, it's like an imaginary friend AI. It's not a friend. Okay. I know I messed with his lay down time. He completely bitched and moaned when he came home. He goes, "No, I gotta I gotta make my lunch. I gotta do the dish." I'm like, I didn't even have dinner. What are you talking about? I didn't even eat. Yet you want me? I left all the chili for him. Like all of the chili was left for Joe. Out here in California desert, supermoon was big time. Really? I bet you it'd be beautiful at the desert because you don't have those big, fat, tall, freaking buildings like we do. Because they don't have real friends. I know. I mean, it sounds like your cats. Listen, it's what it is. I'm going to use the language I have. If it's pointed out and I learn that something is wrong or it is extremely offensive and I find out the reason why, then I make the choice on it. Nobody, oh, there goes, see, look at it. Nobody has the right to live their lives being protected from offense or insult or from hurt feelings. It's an occupational hazard of living in society. If you really can't take it, become a hermit. Yeah, absolutely. Nothing is truthful and enjoyable as much until you can experience it with all your five senses. Truth. Truth! Supermoon shown in my bedroom window woke me up. Really? Mark, absolutely. Experiencing something and seeing something is totally different. You know, example, we go to the pork chop house. I tell you how good it is. You guys go, "Oh, that's wonderful. It's nice." Fafa went to the pork chop house. Experiencing it and seeing me eat it and taste it and talk about it is completely different. It's the experience, you know. So, that's a thought. That's my thought process here. You guys ruminate on it. Think about it, guys. Guys, think about it. Let's not be arrogant. Let's not be so arrogant that we feel we should never be offended, okay? Let's bring a little bit of reality into our world. Let's use our English language as best we can. You know, if a word or a phrase fits that instance, let's use it. As long as we're not being racially hateful, any of that. As long as we're not doing that, as long as we're not spewing hate, let's just talk. Let's have a strange conversation, all right, guys? You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your super chat, Diana Late. You're always so amazing and stuff. Let's just keep living. Let's not take offense at every little thing. Let's pause before we share our feelings and just think about it for a moment. And let's keep that positively rolling. This is Yo Ang and Strange Conversations. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.